Hey there, parents. We hope your kids are enjoying BKFK as much as we love making it. Every episode is created to inspire, entertain, and teach, all with your child in mind. But did you know that we can only keep this going thanks to listeners like you? By becoming a patron on Patreon, you help us keep bringing fun, educational, and exciting new episodes to your family. Your support helps us with everything from production to sound design and more. We put so much care into every story and message, making sure each episode shares good values. From scheduling and recording kids to editing, music rights, and more. It all takes time, and that's why we have a Patreon community. It's our only source of funding. No ads, just the support of listeners like you. And we do our utmost to make it worthwhile for you. Did you know we have over 100 extra stories waiting for you on Patreon? We even release a brand new Patreon story every week. We have some of our older stories like Hansel and Gretel, the Minotaur, and the Emperor's New Clothes.
Soon the Emperor was walking in the middle of the grand parade through the streets of his town, and all the people standing in the street and at their windows shouted,
"Oh, how beautiful the Emperor's new clothes are!"
No one would admit that he or she could not see these much admired clothes.
Plus, stories written and read by me. The father took the bundle and then gave it to each of his sons, one by one. Okay, kiddos, try your best to break this bundle of sticks. The sons looked at each other.
Has he gone crazy?
I don't know. I think so. We've recently had a blast producing the first 2 Winnie the Pooh books. And now we're working on a magical story called Queen Zixie of Ix by L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wizard of Oz. Suddenly placed his broad thumb upon a passage and shouted, "I have it! I have it! I have it!" "What is it?"
Read it aloud,
cried the others. Just then, Jicky rushed into the room and asked,
"Shall I toll the bell?"
"No!" they yelled, glaring at him. So Jicky ran out, shaking his head dolefully. And that's just a taste of what's waiting for you when you support us. Plus, we love to give our patrons shout-outs, and we even offer personalized audiobooks for your kids on their birthdays. It's our way of saying thank you for supporting us. So head over to patreon.com/bykids4kids and become a patron today. Your support means the world to us, and it helps keep BKFK going strong for you and your kids. And if Patreon isn't for you, that's totally okay. We'll still be here, serving up your weekly dose of BKFK. But if you want to help out in other ways, you can always share the podcast with friends or rate and review us. That makes a big difference too. Thanks so much for your patience, sticking with me through this long intro. I promise I won't do it every week. Coming up in this episode of BKFK's Storytime, Trolla and Grumblegut are taking advice from an unusual book.
Why are you two drinking onion smoothies all the time? It smells awful.
Grumblegut grinned, showing his onion-stained teeth.
We read it in a book. Grogboon, the goblin druid, says it makes you more monstrous, increases body fungus, and can even make your teeth sharper.
Snotbeard consults Whistlethorpe the wizard and receives some useful advice.
And we should discuss what we read with our friends, not just the ones who agree with us, but also those who might see things differently. It helps us understand better.
But first, let's hear who the superstars are on this episode.
My name is Alana. I'm from Colorado. I'm 8 years old, and I love playing piano.
My name is Eli. I'm from Colorado. I'm 9 years old, and I like dinosaurs.
Hello, my name is Jace. I'm 11 years old. I live in Indiana, in the USA, and I enjoy gaming. I am Micah. I am 8 years old. I live in Indiana, and I really like space.
Well done, kids. You are fantastic. Okay, Ruby, let's get on with the story.
Onion Magic. On a sunny day, Grumblegut the Ogre and Trolla the Troll were happily reading book after book in their cavernous lair. They sat around their stone table, munching on snacks and flipping through pages. The cave walls were slick with slime, and the air was filled with the usual ruckus of their monstrous activities. Grumblegut held up a book titled Onion Magic, Secrets of the Monster King, by Grogboon the Goblin Druid. Grogboon was from the nearby village of Snarlsniff, known for its strange potions and odd customs.
Look, Trolla!
Grumblegut exclaimed.
This book has a recipe for something called the Yucky Mucky Sip. It says if we eat these onion smoothies, we'll become stronger, our skin will be tougher, our roars will be louder, and it increases slime production.
Trolla's eyes widened.
Really? That sounds squelch-tacular. Let's start right away.
So, from that day on, Grumblegut and Trolla only ate Yucky Mucky Sips for breakfast, lunch, and supper. They blended onions with swamp water and slugs and gulped down the stinky, eye-watering mixture. They even stopped eating their usual mossy mushroom muffins and slime soup. Snotbeard the giant watched his friends with a puzzled expression. One morning he asked,
Why are you two drinking onion smoothies all the time? It smells awful.
Grumblegut grinned, showing his onion-stained teeth.
We read it in a book. Grogboon, the Goblin Druid, says it makes you more monstrous, increases body fungus, and can even make your teeth sharper.
Trolla nodded vigorously.
Yes, if it's in a book, it must be true.
Snotbeard scratched his head.
That sounds weird-donkulous. Maybe I should talk to Whistlethorpe about this.
Snotbeard set off to visit the clever wizard.
Hello, Snotbeard.
Whistlethorpe greeted with a warm smile.
What brings you here today?
Snotbeard explained.
Grumblegut and Trolla have gone completely bonkers. They're only drinking Yucky Mucky Sips. Yucky what?
Asked Whistlethorpe.
They're onion smoothies that supposedly make them more monstrous. They found the recipe in a book called Onion Magic, Secrets of the Monster King, by Grogboon the Goblin Druid. But it seems a bit kooky crank to me.
Whistlethorpe nodded thoughtfully.
I see. It's important to be careful about what we read. Not everything you read is true. We need to look for evidence and think about who wrote it and why.
Snotbeard looked confused.
How do we do that?
Whistlethorpe pulled out a copy of the same book and opened it.
Let me show you. First, we look for evidence. Other examples that support Grogboon's ideas. Does the book provide proof for what it says?
He paged through the book. Snotbeard nodded slowly.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Whistlethorpe continued.
We can also talk about the book with others, just like what you are doing now. Talking about it can help us see different points of view and understand better.
Snotbeard listened carefully.
That's interesting. Anything else? Yes, we should think about the author, the person who wrote the book. Who is Grogboon, the Goblin Druid? What do we know about him? He might have his own reasons for writing the book.
Snotbeard's eyes widened.
I know. Grogboon owns the biggest store in Snarlsniff. He sells vegetables, including onions. Maybe he wrote the book to sell more onions.
Whistlethorpe smiled.
Exactly, my friend. Maybe he wrote this book because it helps him. We should check the information. If something sounds surprising or hard to believe, we can look it up in other books.
Snotbeard nodded eagerly.
Let's do that.
Whistlethorpe fetched more books about the plants and vegetables of Magimajura. They read through them together. But there was no mention of onions making you stronger, toughening your skin, increasing slime production, or any more of the ridiculous claims in Grogboon's book. Whistlethorpe pointed to a silly quote from Onion Magic, Secrets of the Monster King.
Onions have magical powers that can make you burp centipedes? That's whack-a-majig.
Snotbeard laughed.
There's no proof for that.
Whistlethorpe nodded.
Exactly. Just because you read it doesn't mean it's true.
Snotbeard thanked Whistlethorpe and hurried back to the cave. He found Grumblegut and Trolla sipping their onion smoothies and reading.
Grumblegut, Trolla, I talked to Whistlethorpe.
Snotbeard said.
We need to be careful about what we read. Not everything in a book is true. Grogboon wrote that book to sell more onions.
Grumblegut and Trolla looked at each other, then at their smoothies.
But it said our skin would be tougher.
Grumblegut mumbled.
I know, but we checked other books and there's no proof. Grogboon was just trying to trick us into buying more onions.
Trolla sighed and put down her Yucky Mucky Sip.
I guess we were too quick to believe it.
Grumblegut frowned.
But it sounded so grantastic.
Snotbeard smiled.
Reading is still important, but we need to be careful and think about what we read.
Trolla added.
And we should discuss what we read with our friends, not just the ones who agree with us, but also those who might see things differently. It helps us understand better.
They all agreed. As the sun set over Magimajura, the three friends sat round their stone table, reading and sharing their thoughts. The cave was still filled with the smell of their swampy home, but now it was also filled with the excitement of learning and discovering new things. Grumblegut looked up from his book and smiled.
You know, Snotbeard, reading really does make our adventures better.
Trolla nodded.
And it's even more fun when we talk about what we read and learn together.
Time for a quiz. Question 1. What was the main ingredient in the Yucky Mucky Sip that Grumblegut and Trolla started drinking? A. Slime. B. Onions. C. Mushrooms. Or D. Swamp water. And the answer is B. Onions. Question 2. Who wrote the book Onion Magic, Secrets of the Monster King? A. Whistlethorpe the Wizard. B. Grogboon the Goblin Druid. C. Snarlsniff the Giant. D. Snotbeard the Giant. And the answer is B. Grogboon the Goblin Druid. Question 3. Why did Snotbeard visit Whistlethorpe the Wizard? A. To learn how to make his own Yucky Mucky Sip. B. To find out if Grogboon's claims in the book were true. C. To ask about a new spell. D. To borrow another book. And the answer is B. To find out if Grogboon's claims in the book were true. Question 4. What did Snotbeard and Whistlethorpe discover after checking other books? A. Onions really do increase slime production. B. There was no proof of the magical powers of onions. C. The Yucky Mucky Sip made trolls smarter. Or D. Grogboon was a famous wizard. And the answer is B. There was no proof of the magical powers of onions. Question 5. What lesson did the friends learn by the end of the story? A. Onions make the best smoothies. B. It's important to talk to others and think carefully about what you read. C. Monsters should never trust books. D. Wizards always have the best answers. And the answer is B. It's important to talk to others and think carefully about what you read. Hey guys, if you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. It is one of the best ways to support BKFK Storytime.